Hi, my name is Troy Monroe, and I'm your health coach for this segment of Raw 101. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of eating raw food with relation to vitamins, enzymes, and minerals. But before I get into that, I want you to just give you an example of the power that comes from eating raw food. And that is in the animal kingdom. Did you know that human beings are the only species in the world that takes their food and then denatures it or cooks it and then eats it again? In the animal kingdom, you never see this. They always eat their food in its raw state. We are the only species in the world that takes its food, denatures it, and then eats it again. I mean, if you have been primarily a meat eater for the most of your life, you notice that you eat the meat from a cow. But where does the cow get its food from? It gets it from a raw food source. Let's take, for instance, protein. People talk about, like, oh, well, you're a vegetarian, where do you get your protein from? Well, I get it from the plants, just like the cow or the elephant or the orangutan. And these creatures are some of the most powerful creatures in the world in terms of their strength and their body structure. And so vegetarians too, those that ascribe to a vegetarian lifestyle, they too become powerful as far as their longevity of life is concerned and their quality of life is concerned. And why is that? It's because they are getting live vitamins, live minerals, and live enzymes, which are the building blocks for a healthy cell. And just as we talked about last time, in order to have a healthy cell, you have to eat properly, because eating properly builds a healthy cell, which builds healthy tissue, which builds healthy organs, which builds healthy systems, which builds a healthy body. So now you're eating a raw food diet for this challenge that you placed yourself on. What are the benefits? The benefits are you're getting live vitamins, minerals, and enzymes. Well, what do those vitamins and enzymes do for you? They build healthy cells. That's basically, to keep it simple, that's basically what they do. Vitamins are coenzymes, and they work with metabolic enzymes in order to, as triggers, to produce biological chemical reactions throughout all the body processes. So you need both vitamins and enzymes, metabolic enzymes, to keep your body functioning at its optimal level. And you need them in a form, or you need them from a biological, not a biological, but an organic source in order to maintain a healthy body. Because if you're eating dead food, how can you produce a living cell that's going to actually have strength enough to keep you healthy? It's not going to work. So what about minerals and how they work? Minerals play a part in aiding in the transmission of messages from the brain to the various parts of the body. Some of those signals are conscious, when we are moving our hands around or our head around, or we want to walk somewhere. That's a conscious transmission. And then you have unconscious transmissions that go on without us even having to do anything. So when we're getting proper mineral content from the way that we're eating, then we can be sure that our transmission of signals from our brain to the various organs are getting a clear passage. The signal is being fired and then received without any interruption. when the mineral balance is lacking, and usually this happens as we get older because of an improper diet, then the signals begin to break down, and then of course our bodies begin to break down. So again, minerals play a role in supporting the messages that are transferred from the brain to the organs of the body, whether it be on a conscious level or on an unconscious level. That means like when you're sleeping and so forth, or you're breathing, you don't have to consciously think about doing it in order for it to happen. It just happens on its own. Mineral deficiency is primarily due to a lack of raw food in the diet. Plain and simple. And I'll go back to this again because I want you to get this in your mind. Healthy cells build healthy tissue. Healthy tissue build healthy organs build healthy systems, and healthy systems build a healthy body. So again, the regimen that you're on is the very best regimen on the planet. And you're looking at someone who is a living example and witness to the power of eating raw foods. So let's talk a little bit about enzymes. We talked about minerals and how they aid the body in supporting the messages that are transported from the brain to the various organs throughout the body. But what about enzymes? There are three major components of enzymes, and those components are metabolic enzymes, digestive enzymes, and dietary and or food enzymes. So when you're eating raw food, what you're doing is you're supplying the body with food enzymes or dietary enzymes. And then your body, in order to break down that food, aids the dietary or food enzymes with digestive enzymes. The problem with eating cooked food, primarily as the basis of your diet, is that enzymes are very delicate. So with the food enzymes, if you cook your food above like 112 degrees, you destroy the enzymes. And so what happens is when the body releases the digestive enzymes in order to break down the food, it doesn't have the help of the food enzymes or the dietary enzymes that only come from raw food. And so the body then works overtime to break down the food. Now, after years and years of this type of practice, which is an abnormal practice because we're not supplying the body with raw food, the body begins to age more quickly, because the greatest amount of energy of all the body functions is digestion. It takes the body more energy to digest the food that we eat than any other energy output that it uses to run or facilitate all the other organs is digestion. And so this is a primary spot in our daily regimen that is so important that we maintain. And so by eating raw, you're actually putting your body back into that position where it can receive the appropriate dietary and the appropriate digestive enzymes in order to do its work. So again, this is something that you probably never heard before, but this is the way that the body actually works. It's a law, and once you break a law, then what happens is slowly but surely over time, breakdown starts to happen. That's how come people age so quickly these days, is because of the process of digestion alone is being inhibited because food enzymes, dietary enzymes in their raw state are not present. So when you're eating raw, what you're doing is you are maximizing the longevity of life, of the life of the cell, which means what? You're maximizing the longevity of the life of the tissue, the life of the organ, the life of the system, the life of your body. And that's the power of eating raw food. That's the science. That's part of one of the sciences behind the importance of eating raw food. So like I said before, you are definitely on the right path. Stick with this. I'm going to be presenting some books at the end of these various videos to kind of give you some information about things that I've studied that have helped me. And what you're going to see when you start reading some of these health books is you're going to see a thread of information that is the same throughout each of them. All of them speaking from the same platform, just in a different form, but they're all saying the same thing. And basically, that is this, that we need to go back to the garden, where our original parents was given the diet to maintain a healthy, vibrant life, physical life, okay? And if you have a healthy, vibrant physical life, it also tends to brighten your mental outlook on life. So again, I want to encourage you to stick to this raw food regimen that you have started. Take it to its full course, because after that you will have developed a habit, and hopefully that habit will lead to an 80 to 20% raw food versus cooked food diet that is only going to end in you becoming healthy, truly healthy, and truly well. And I hope for the remainder of your life as on this earth, because again, we all going to die of something, but it's how we die. So once again, thank you for joining me for this segment of Raw 101, and my counsel to you is, now go and eat the right thing.